simple sweep is so powerful. Intentionality, prioritization. It's beautiful. Amberly, that's great. You exude fun.
I try.
And so it's perfect.
Life can be a lot sometimes, but
yeah, no kidding.
How and when did you discover this kind of method to putting fun back into marriage?
I think just kind of I've done all the research, right? Like I've done a lot. I loved your guys' podcast episode you did recently with I can't remember who it was, but you guys talked about gray divorce. I've always been intrigued by gray divorce and how what is it that leads to, and there's lots of reasons people, but they kind of just drift apart is a lot of what I've read in the research, and just that life can get so heavy. And just from my own experience and watching others and hearing from others and being, as I've gone through my own education and being involved in that I've just seen that fun can go a long way, and it can help ground you, I think, back in your relationship and where it started and why you are together. That yes, we had these same ideals for life and how we want to parent, which, if we're being honest, doesn't always be true when you get to that point. But it's that fun that you have together that brought you together, and that, yeah, we're just boring. I can sit next to you and scroll my phone every night. It could be anyone, but that's not the same person that you can have fun with every night. And so I think it's one of those cornerstones of the foundation of a good relationship.
Is there a moment where you were kind of maybe testing this, that it just clicked and you're like, oh, this is it. This is really good.
I always go back to when we were in the NICU, and just like, because we were in the throat, we had a 16-month-old at home. I had just finished schooling. My husband was looking at going back to schooling. Life was hard, like with little kids, it's hard. And remembering, like, seeing how much we laughed. There were a lot of tears during that time, and a lot of frustration, and a lot of heavy discussions, and sometimes heated discussions when we didn't see eye to eye. But it was that fun that we were able to have together. And so I always refer back to that I think for me, that was a turning point when I was like, yeah, we can still have fun together, even when life is hard. And it feels like all we should be focused on is this, like, that helped us. It made our marriage better in the end because we were able to have fun and connect in that fun way while also making it through the hard time together.
That's good. Alexis, did you have a question?
Yeah, I do. I have two questions, actually. So the first question is, how do you feel like you can overcome changing relationships? I was interested when you brought up like gray divorce and things like that. Like, I think that there's just so much that comes with marriage, and you change and your spouse changes, and maybe their idea of fun changes. And so how do you kind of roll with the punches going into a longer marriage?
Yeah. I was joking when we were trying to set up for this that adaptability is my middle name. It's kind of just become my thing. It's my superpower I got from the pandemic when things changed on a dime, and that didn't work and that didn't work. So we're just going to keep moving forward. But one of my things with a prioritized marriage, and it's a quote I heard from Dr. Laura Heck. She hosts the Marriage Therapy radio podcast. She's a Gottman certified therapist, but she talked about how a successful marriage is, or the success to a long relationship, however it starts, is multiple relationships over the course of your lifetime, always with each other.
Same person.
Yeah. And so with a prioritized marriage, I talk a lot about, like, when you become parents, how does that change what's been working for you? Sometimes that change is just, for us being in the NICU, it was 3 weeks. It could have been up to 2 months because our baby was 2 months early, but it could be an undetermined amount of time. It could be, we know for this semester that this is what our schedule is going to look like, and how are we going to make these things that we're working work, or what needs to be set aside? What are our priorities? And so I think it's keeping that open communication and being willing to look at other things. Things that are fun for us now are things that I never would have thought were fun for us, or things that I love now are things that I never, I went into this degree thinking I was going to be a music therapist, and I still love music and I still think music therapy is great, but I didn't know that this is where I was going to have my fun. So I think being open-minded and keeping that communication open and being willing to hear each other and just reestablish your relationship every single day.
Music itself is just a lightener, isn't it? I've noticed that in my own home. It's like, where's the music? Let's get some music on. Yeah, good for you. Good for you. Really.
Let's go dancing, right?
Yeah, any other questions?
Yeah.
I just have one more question, which is, how do you feel like couples can overcome like smaller obstacles? I know that you brought up your experience in the NICU and like big things happen all the time in life, but smaller things happen too. Like
every day.
For example, me and my husband's schedules, like our work schedules don't always line up, or maybe your child is diagnosed with ADHD, a bigger thing, but like things that affect the everyday life. How would you advise couples to really continue finding the fun in kind of like those small obstacles that just present every day?
Yeah. I was thinking about Dave's discussion. He was talking about planning for Disneyland and how it rained every single day they were there. So it wasn't maybe the same fun they had planned, but it was still fun. And you probably made funny memories and things that happened because it rained that wouldn't have happened otherwise. It's funny you mentioned a child with ADHD, because we do have a child with ADHD, but I think too, there's memes and reels that go around like being the mom and you plan this fun thing for your family and everyone fights the whole time and you're like, I'm never planning anything fun again. And just being willing, I think you just have to find the fun in life, find the funny in the moment. I mean, even just setting up for this podcast, things changed like 5 million times, right? My computer was like, okay, we got it figured out. And then the one decided to crash. And just being able to laugh about it and say, okay, that one didn't work. Time for plan X or Z or double A. I don't know how many plans. Yeah. Not just saying, well, throw up our hands and give up on that. Like, it snowed during spring break, and so that awesome hike we had planned wasn't going to work. What can we do instead that's fun? Not just saying, forget the fun. That's out the window. We're going to wallow in pity. And it's okay to be upset about it and be disappointed for a bit, but then just adapting and moving forward with the next thing. And it could be scheduling that fun and saying, we're not going to have time for our usual this week. What can we do instead? Or someone got sick and date night was canceled. That happens so many times for me. Every time I have something fun planned. So just kidding. We're just all going to sit home and be miserable. No, we're going to find a way to have fun. So I think it's just that intentional and being willing to change in the moment. And that's just something that I've learned throughout life. Like, it's not going to go the way you planned, hardly ever. And when it does, I'm like, oh, it worked out. This was like our first date in 6 months that went exactly how I thought it was going to go. So.
Adapt, improvise, overcome. That's the old saying. I have one last question, Amberly. What is your ultimate date night car?
That's a really good question. And I haven't thought that one through. I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to ask my husband, because I think he's the one that's like, yeah, I'd want to have this car. And I'm like, it could be our date night car. And on that same note, the Gottmans once said that they have a cuddle couch. And so I'm more on that side. Yes. I'm currently looking for the perfect couch to cuddle on. And it is not the one that I have in my house currently. And so.
Yeah, they spent a long time trying to find that cuddle couch,
and I was
right?
Like, that's a good idea.
They went to stores and tried hundreds.
I love that idea. You can read a book together on the cuddle couch. You can make out on the cuddle couch. You can watch a movie. You could enjoy a treat. I don't know. Cute. But so that's my, I'll have to ask my husband, Rex, and get back to you on what our date night car is. Cause that's more his side of things that we were like, yeah, that could be fun. I want this car. And I'm like, it'll be our date night car. The cuddle couch.
Sounds like you have a date night car, Rex.
Oh, man.
Do you have a date night car?
Oh, gosh, I've got a couple. Maybe a 1970 Chevelle Super Sport, or of course my all-time favorite is the '69 Dodge Charger. Just something fun, loud, and crazy. How about you,
I don't have
Alexis? You
anything,
got one?
but something fun, loud, and crazy does sound fun for date night. So,
Yeah.
You got to decide, do you want it to
excellent.
have an
well,
open top or not? Wind in your hair,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
going to ruin,
wind in the hair,
Definitely a hard top.
yeah, not for me.
Yeah. Oh, this has been so much fun. Thanks, Amberly,
thank
for
you guys.
speaking of fun, right? This has been so much fun. Chatting with you. Thank you so much for taking time to join us.
Thanks for having me.
And for reminding us about the priorities. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us today. Hey, do us a favor and take a few minutes to subscribe to our podcast and the Utah Marriage Commission YouTube channel, where you can watch this and every episode of the show. When you hit the like button and leave a comment, your feedback helps us improve the show. And don't forget to share this episode with a friend. You can also follow and connect with us on Instagram at Stronger Marriage Life and on Facebook at Stronger Marriage. Be sure to share with us what topics you want us to cover and what you loved about today's episode. If you want even more resources to improve your relationship connection, visit our website at strongermarriage.org, where you'll find free workshops, webinars, relationship surveys, and more. Each episode of Stronger Marriage Connection is hosted and sponsored by the Utah Marriage Commission at Utah State University. And finally, a big thanks to our producers Rex Polanis and Alexis Alcott and the team at Utah State University. And you, our audience, you make this show possible. The opinions, findings, conclusions, and recommendations expressed in this podcast do not necessarily reflect the views of the Utah Marriage Commission.